Hello, the one and only Xylophoney here with another ARK Survival Evolved Top 10, featuring the island's most annoying creatures and dinosaurs. Now, this is a list a lot of people have asked for, but of course we are not fans of many things on this list, so it's gonna get interesting. On this list, there are creatures that have given us a lot of facepalms and even the occasional rage quit, but we're gonna go over some of them that are just plain annoying to be around. Before we get into that, some honorable mentions. We'll shout out some of the dinosaurs that have not been added into the game yet, such as the Troodon, who is going to be sneaky and attack you at night. We have the Hyenodon, who is going to attack you at your weakest. The Caprasuchus, who is going to jump out and surprise you when you're not ready for it. The Ichthyornis, which might just call in your ear all day, we don't know yet. And the Electrophorus, who might give you a shocking experience in the water, forcing you to drown when there is no other way this thing could have beaten you. But before we get into the top 10, also gonna exclude, of course, the bosses, although I don't think any of the bosses would be on this list, and going to exclude the bat and the spider, since they can be annoying, but you can just stay out of caves and not have to worry about them at all. But for number 10, we are going to go with the scorpion. Yes, scorpions can be found in caves as well, but they're also lurking around on the surface. The thing about the scorpion is they're not particularly fast, they're not particularly damaging, but when they do start attacking you, at any moment, you could just tip over and go unconscious. This can be after the fight happens, this can be during the fight, and no matter what, it's going to be very annoying because 1, you're going to be unconscious on the ground. 2, there's a very high chance of there being something dangerous around who wants to eat you while you're lying on the ground, leaving you powerless to do anything about it, and, well, leaving you to die without even getting a chance of a fair fight. Let's move on to number 9, the raptor. Now, it was a little hard for me to put a raptor on a list of the most annoying, but in all honesty, the raptors can get pretty annoying in the early stages of the game. Anytime you spawn on a beach, there is a chance of a raptor waiting there for you, ready to spawn kill you. I'd say the raptor is one of the most common killers of the game before you get going, just because it's fast enough to run down most players, and it's strong enough to easily kill a player without any armor. Now, once you get armor and everything, these guys aren't so bad, but the whole reason that they're annoying is because they don't let you get to that point sometimes, so they can be a whole lot of trouble. But let's move on to number 8, the Ichthyosaur. Now, the Ichthyosaur is not aggressive, it does not attack you. In fact, I wasn't even thinking of putting it on this list until someone mentioned it. But it is kind of annoying because you can be swimming in the water, and then suddenly a group of Ichthyosaurs just swim up to you and get you stuck. They can be behind you and like spook you if you're not ready for them. They can just like pinch you together, and they can just overall hinder your ability to swim, just because there's so many of them around and they cling to you. Now, this is also kind of friendly at the time, you know, they're cool guys to be around, but you just don't want to be around them all the time. They're like that one friend who, yeah, you like them. It's just sometimes they're just a little too much, you know? But that's going to move us on to number 7, the Dilophosaur. Now, the Dilophosaur isn't interesting to put on any countdown because he's so weak and easy to kill. But, of course, he has that spit that blinds you. Now, once you're hit by this, you don't always know where he is. You have to just start stabbing into the blank until you see a name tag, and that's pretty much the only way to take this guy down. If there's anything else bigger around you, this could be a massive problem because you can't see it coming. So having that blindness is one of the most annoying things in the game, and these things are so common that it happens to everyone every now and then. Doesn't matter if you're a high level or a low level, if you have a base or if you're just walking around. Dilophosaur could come from any corner, blind you and leave you to whatever else is coming. But moving on to number 6, the Compy. Now the Compies are another one of those kind of friendly but kind of annoying things. So the Compies, they just walk up to you and say, hey, how you doing? But the dangerous thing about these guys is when there's enough of them walking up to you like, who are you? Then they start to get a little aggressive. If you don't have weapons and armor all prepared for it by the time they get to you, they can definitely do some damage. I've seen Compies kill people many times over. And it's kinda hilarious because they're such tiny dinosaurs, you wouldn't think they could kill you, but they certainly can, especially when they're in number and they get that attack boost. But they are just so deceiving that it's just so annoying when they come and attack you. and even just standing in front of you and you're trying to move. That can also be a little annoying, but let's move on to number 5, the Titanboa. Now, the Titanboa is definitely one of the deadlier things on this list. Even if you are fully prepared for it, these guys can still do some damage and kill you. What makes them annoying is that they often sneak up on you. You can just be walking near a swamp somewhere, and then suddenly out of nowhere you get bit by a snake. They're relatively quiet when they approach, and they have that bite that slows you down, so once you are bitten, you usually don't have any choice but to fight them. And there can be so many of them that they can swarm you after this happens, leaving you no chance to run. There can be a Sarco that comes up to you after that. Really, these guys are the reason that swamps are so annoying to travel through. If it were just for everything else, you know, powerful dinosaurs and stuff like that, it would be fine, but the Titanboa is what really makes swamps annoying to live in. And they can just crawl over your walls and start attacking your base when you really can't do anything about it except set up a gun turret to fire away at them, or have all your dinosaurs fight back. Just really annoying, and of course, they also poison you. At number 4, we have the Dragonfly. Now, dragonflies definitely have potential to be even number 1 on this list, but the reason they're only number 4 is because they're really easy to kill and they usually don't attack you. However, when they do attack you, it's usually because you're very vulnerable or you just killed something that you plan to loot. If you're trying to gather meat, these guys can easily get in your way, make you accidentally hit one, and then a swarm of 20 of these guys will come attacking you. Now, of course, you can go ahead and kill them all, and they're not that difficult to kill, but if you are on a land creature, you can't always reach the higher flying ones, and you can't really run away from them because they sap your stamina. So they can just be very annoying. They're not difficult at all to fight, but they just slow you down, just completely get in the way of everything you're doing, and when they do kill you, it's because you just got out of a big fight and you're super triumphant. And yeah, that happened to me like just a couple days ago. It was not fun. Anyway, we can move on to number 3 now. We have the Argentina. Now, this is an interesting one to have on the list. Probably not something you were originally thinking of, but hear me out. The Argentina also has the whole attacking dead things that the Dragonfly has, except they're much bigger and much more threatening. These guys can easily kill a player without armor, and they can easily find a player without armor. Thing is, these guys fly around anywhere. They fly around on the beaches, they fly around in the mountains, and they just swoop down and attack players without much warning. Now, once they do start attacking, there's not much you can do, because they can pretty much fly around and get you. One thing about these guys is even if you have a flying mount, you're not really safe against them. You can just be chilling in the air and suddenly these guys come and attack you. So the Argentina can be very annoying, especially for early players in the game. I mentioned the raptor earlier. Well, the one that kills early players the most in the game is probably this guy, just because he flies in out of nowhere and two-shots people most of the time. So, let me know in the comments if you agree with how annoying this guy is. He also has a lot of other uses besides being annoying, but I thought he certainly deserved to be here. And now for number 2, we have the Piranha. Piranhas are obviously one of the most annoying things in the game. There's not even a thought about killing them most of the time. Usually, you check a river every time you cross just because of these piranhas. They do really good damage, and they're kind of difficult to hit sometimes. So they just swarm around you and start chomping. With a few of these and an unarmored person, you're gonna die in seconds. Even if you have like chitin armor, they'll still probably kill you. Now, you have to get into the water to see these guys happening, but the problem is you can't always see them coming. Even if you check for piranhas, sometimes a group still swims up. They have an extremely large, aggressive radius that they just swim in and start biting anything that hits the water. Now, whether this is one of your dinosaurs that you care about or your own body, it can be very annoying, and you have to just try to avoid water at all costs because of these guys. Now, if you do want to fight them, you can kill them, but it's still really annoying once you actually get into their domain. Finally, for number 1, we have the Titanboa. Now, a lot of people were probably expecting this guy, at least somewhere on the list, but I think he deserves to be a number 1. Now, the Titanboa is annoying because you don't always expect him. They're not quite as common as the dragonfly, but they are certainly more dangerous. They can actually take a hit, so you can't just one-shot them, They actually do damage, so they can kill you when you have more health, and they pretty much attack you whenever, not just at specific moments. So that's what makes these guys so annoying. Not only that, but they have a two-waved attack. At first, they launch their flying ants at you, which are the ones that deal more damage and are generally harder to hit. You just gotta kinda stab up into the air or swing up into the air until you can get them. Of course, if you're riding on a lower dinosaur, it may also be difficult to hit these guys. But once you do handle them, the second wave comes along just to annoy you. There is no threat in the ground ants whatsoever, but once they do come, they just start biting at you until you kill them. It's a very annoying two-pronged attack that really usually doesn't kill anyone, but it never is welcome. Once again, the only reason you want these guys around is to get the chitin, but if it weren't for that, everyone would hate them being in the game. In fact, they made an item called bug repellent just to keep these guys off you. That's how annoying they were. People were complaining about it, so they had to make a new item. But let me know what you guys think. I think everything on this list definitely deserved a spot in this countdown, but in your own experiences, you may have ordered them quite differently, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Of course, if you have enjoyed this top 10, leave a like on the video and let me know what else you want to see. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.